Being a Lakers fan is both a curse and a blessing at the same time. The purple and gold are undoubtedly one of the greatest franchises in the history of the game, and the Lakers have had their highs and lows throughout their time in the league. Some of the most important basketball players were wearing the Lakers uniform at one point in their careers. Kobe Bryant, Shaquille O'Neal, Jerry West, Magic Johnson, and now LeBron James. All of those players played for the Los Angeles Lakers and have built their legacy there. LeBron's legacy with the Lakers is a difficult topic to say the least. LeBron did manage to win a title here, although the team has failed to deliver so far 2 years after. In the 2022 NBA season, one of the most talked about topics is various Lakers trade rumors, and today we will expand on this subject. In this video, we'll try to analyze whether the Lakers should trade DeAndre Jordan to free up roster space. Also, I would really need to hear your opinion, as I'm very curious about what you, my dear subscribers, NBA fans, and just passing by viewers, think about the entire league's current state. This video will be rather analytical, so grab some snacks, get yourself comfortable, and enjoy this video. But before that, smash that like button, subscribe to the channel if you haven't done so already, and hit that notification bell to get updates on our latest NBA content. Let's keep rolling. The Los Angeles Lakers signed DeAndre Jordan in September, hoping that the big man could play the center role for a senior Lakers squad and help them return to the top of the Western Conference. However, the experiment has not gone as planned, as Jordan has been underwhelming throughout his time in Los Angeles. As of now, the 33-year-old has the worst plus-minus rating of any player on the team. His contribution to the more traditional numbers isn't much better either. Jordan has averaged only 4.3 points, and even his biggest strength in rebounding is now at the second worst career rate with 5.5 rebounds in slightly over 13 minutes per game. His free throw percentage is still an issue, with 58.8% accuracy on average. DeAndre's overall performance has become significantly lower than during his time with the Brooklyn Nets. However, we should also take into account that he was given a more significant role here and played 9 minutes more, yet his plus-minus and field goal percentage and accuracy in general were better. The mentioned factors might have led to the Lakers' interest in waiving or trading the ex-All-Star in the upcoming months. According to ESPN's Brian Windhorst, the Los Angeles Lakers may release him to clear roster space and strengthen the squad. On his Hoops Collective podcast, Windhorst addressed the topic, stating, "A team to watch is the Lakers. So the Lakers have a full roster and they're cost sensitive. But DeAndre Jordan is playing very poorly for them, and basically LeBron is playing a lot of minutes at center right now. I don't think he's starting at center, but the second half on Christmas they started him at center, or they played Carmelo a few minutes at center, which was laughable. It could be a situation where the Lakers are like, we're going to cut DeAndre Jordan to keep a player, possibly if Stanley Johnson works out or something like that." Long story short, the Lakers are experimenting with LeBron and Carmelo as centers and are highly interested in freeing up the roster spot. Also, they are open to finding more suitable players for this role by getting small 10-day deals in search of a fitting big man. Like when the Lakers signed Stanley Johnson to a 10-day hardship contract, and in his first 2 games with the team, the 25-year-old brought the heat. Johnson has averaged 8 points and 3 rebounds despite the limited sample size. Meanwhile, Jordan hasn't played well for the Lakers in his last few games, and his future with the team appears to be dismal. His future seemed to be in jeopardy after being dealt by Brooklyn and released by Detroit before joining the Lakers, but that's another story. However, I don't think that waiving DeAndre is the smartest decision. The team that is so deep in the luxury tax is definitely looking to decrease their spending, and waiving won't help them in this case. There is one more way to make things work, yet it will require the Lakers front office to come up with a solid strategy for this trade deadline. How can the Lakers move DeAndre without waiving him? The Lakers have already done a similar deal that helped them. The Los Angeles Lakers made their first deal of the 2021-2022 season, basically exchanging Rajon Rondo for roster space. The Lakers obtained a non-guaranteed contract in Denzel Valentine in return for sending Rondo to the Cleveland Cavaliers. The Knicks were included in the Valentine agreement, which saved the Lakers $4 million. The Lakers could have just waived Rondo to free up roster space, but they did not want to do so since they are so far over the luxury tax threshold. The team would still have to pay Rondo's entire compensation, as well as the salary of a new player, as well as the tax consequences. So they did the right thing by making a smart financial move by trading with the Cavs. DeAndre isn't going to get any better in the future. It's not a secret that the centers are the players who possess the least longevity. Big men usually rely heavily on their athleticism and strength, and those two things diminish with each passing year after their prime ends. DeAndre is a prime example of such a player. In his prime, he was a beast of an alley-oop finisher, but that's pretty much it. His physical abilities have decreased, and his relevance in today's game is at a low level. There isn't much for him to do with his career at the moment. He is on the decline, and the aging Lakers team does not need another player who can't provide now. Another thing is that the Los Angeles Lakers are unlikely to acquire much in return for DeAndre Jordan on the trade market, but they might try to pull off a deal akin to the Rondo deal. Find a franchise in need of center depth, like the Cavaliers were in need of a point guard to replace Ricky Rubio, and sign him to a non-guaranteed deal. Of course, this brings the list to a close. Not every team requires an experienced center, especially given Jordan's lackluster performance. Even after narrowing the list to teams in need of centers, we still need to discover teams with non-guaranteed contracts to ship to. There are teams that might be interested in DeAndre Jordan. Well, that's if they want to go the Rajon Rondo route. Some of these teams include the Dallas Mavericks, the Indiana Pacers, and the Atlanta Hawks. In the first case, the Lakers might try to get the young Moses Brown, and it would be a fairly good deal for LA, as bringing young talent to the team is what they need to take care of. In the second case with the Pacers, things might be a bit more interesting, as they can get Jeremy Lamb in exchange for a package of Kendrick Nunn, Kent Bazemore, DeAndre Jordan, and a 2023 second-round pick. This trade might shake things up for both squads, who are underperforming at the moment, but this scenario is more likely to happen if Miles Turner gets traded away eventually. The Atlanta Hawks might get DeAndre Jordan, which will hardly increase the Hawks' championship chances overnight, but it may be a minor beneficial addition to a host of other moves. While the squad boasts a good center in Clint Capella, the depth leaves a lot to be desired. Georgie Dang is tiny and isn't the usual rim-protecting and rebounding center the Hawks would need off the bench. At the moment, that's all they have in the center position. So, DeAndre might become a solid backup center who will play when Clint Capella needs to take a rest. The Lakers, on the other hand, might ask for Timothé Luwawu-Cabarrot in exchange, and it would definitely be a positive move for them. And what is your opinion? Do you think it's a great idea for the Lakers to get rid of DeAndre Jordan? If yes, tell us whether you think it's better to waive him or trade the center away. Tell us what you think in the comments down below. And once again, make sure to leave a like on this video and hit that subscribe button to catch up with the best NBA content. If you like this video, make sure to watch my other videos about the other NBA players, current rumors, and news. Thank you for watching.